Hi, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing my time. Doing my time. Got myself a problem.
Looking for the
inside track on everything sports, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Sports World Radio, the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet with your hosts, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann.
Hey, welcome to Sports World Radio. I am your host, Jeff Escow. We got another jam-packed show for you guys today. The Monday edition, the Labor Day edition of Sports World Radio. I hope everybody's having a great Labor Day. We are here to entertain you for 2 hours with sports talk today. So get ready and come on that 2-hour sports journey with us. Lots and lots to get to. Let's get all the particulars out of the way. Then we'll bring in the co-host. Like I said, this is Sports World Radio. We do this each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central,
figure it out.
That's right. Figure it out for yourself. There are several ways to get in touch with us here at Sports World Radio. I'm going to tell you all of them. This way you have no excuses whatsoever to get in touch with us here at Sports World Radio. The best way to get in touch with us is to give us a call at 619-663-3715, 619-663-3715. You can also reach us on Skype for Skype users at Sports World Radio Show, at Sports World Radio Show on Skype. Now, you can also come on over and hang out in our chat room over at Spreaker.com, or you can head on over to jockjournal.com/SWR. Scroll down, and you will be live in the chat room. That's right. We have another chat room on jockjournal.com/SWR. The show is in there, so you can just hit play and start talking with us in the chat room. Now, Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio is another way to get in touch with us here at Sports World Radio. We're also on Twitter at Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. When you like our Facebook page, pinned right to the top of our Facebook page is our petition to get me, Jeff Escow, in a sports debate with Skip Bayless. So please sign our petition. Don't forget, we got an intro. Don't forget, we have Sports World Radio's Sport Shorts. That's right, Sports World Radio's Sport Shorts. You want to become a member and be able to listen to every single conversation that me and the guys have during the commercial breaks? Head on over to swrsportshorts.com/SWR Shorts. That's swrsportshorts.com/SWR Shorts. And become a member today and listen to all of the conversations me and the guys have during the commercial breaks. With all that being said, what do you say, hey? We bring in that co-host of ours, Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on there, bud?
I'm doing good, Jeff, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sports World Radio on this Monday, September 7th, 2015 at 6:07 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 3:07 p.m. on the West. It is Labor Day. Happy Labor Day, Jeff. Happy Labor Day, Josh, Nick, and Laura, and, of course, Shaba when he will be on here soon, and probably Myth. Doing well in general. Weather is about, probably like 56 degrees, cool, and it's been overcast, been rainy and sunshiny a lot today.
Really? It's smoking hot out here, man. You can cook an egg on the concrete out here. That's how hot it is today.
I believe it.
Hey, joining us like he does each and every Monday in the first hour of our show is our good friend, Nicholas Turturro, otherwise known as Nic Spiva. What's up there, pal?
Not much, guys. It's about 102 here today. Last week of hot weather. This is it.
Really? You
get some rain coming in on about Thursday. It's going to be about 75.
You got some smoking hot weather going, huh?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm tired of it. This is it, though. After Wednesday, it should be hello fall.
Nash is over in our jockjournal.com/SWR chat room, and he says it's 99 degrees there in Oklahoma, where he lives. You guys live about 15 minutes apart, right?
Apparently so. I did not know that till a couple days.
Yeah, you guys live about 15 minutes apart. So, yeah, so you guys are in a hot weather over there, huh?
We would like some more love for the Central Time Zone, by the way.
Why?
Just because he's got an East Coast bias here. Always announcing East Coast time. We want the Central Time added
Well,
in.
I announced the East Coast time and the West Coast time. I can give a crap about the Central time.
Hey, you got two people there from the Central Time. Actually, three with
With Nash, yeah, but you want to know something? Where's the host and the co-host? On the West Coast, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Exactly. You're lucky I even give the East Coast time. I should just tell them 3 o'clock on the West Coast and screw the East Coast.
Fine with me. We don't want that East Coast bias. We're not ESPN, are you?
No, I'm not at ESPN. I maybe we'll be at ESPN.
It is 3:09 p.m. Pacific time, which is, of course, 6:09 on the East Coast. We have a Ryan Stick of Blazing update. He said, Jeff Eskow, you may be living inside my head, but I am going to have a far better job than you are because you are overrated and a fluke. And
Yeah.
he said, Sean, and he's also said, you need to cut Sean Mann and let him go and send him into an amateur school.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, I am living inside your head. That's the problem you have right there. I'm living inside your head. You're not living inside my head. And guess what? I'm on the air, and you're not.
And he continues to say that Josh Lopez is a worthless producer, not very good. Nick and Frank are too loudmouths and overrated.
Look, Nick, you've been on the show one day, and the guy's ragging on you already.
I'm a loudmouth?
Yeah.
What did I do?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just that this guy I blocked on Facebook. He hates Sports World Radio, Nick, and he just talks nothing but negativity about, and he sends it to Josh. And I've always pointed out, I feel bad for one person who has to put up with this crap, and that's Josh, because Josh is always getting emails from Ryan Stick of Blazing, and he types him loads of emails. Loads
Well,
of negative.
you know what? If you don't like it, don't listen.
Yeah.
But that's the problem, Nicholas. He cannot help himself from listening. He has to listen.
He's upset because Jeff got him fired from his job, Nick.
Yeah, I got him fired from his job. He was Josh Lopez's program director.
How'd you get him fired?
Well, I kind of ragged on him on the radio a couple of times, and they kind of heard it, and they fired him. How about that? So now the guy doesn't have a job, doesn't have anything to do but listen to this kick-ass show every day for 2 hours, and then after he listens to it every day, then he goes on a rant and tells everybody how bad it is. You keep doing what you're doing, Ryan, because when you keep telling everybody how bad it is, they want to come and check it out from themselves. So since you started writing bad about Sports World Radio, our listenership has gone through the roof, you jackass.
And then he's the one who's talking about how bad jockjournal.com is. Josh also points out, and he says, it's so sad that people have to listen to Sports World Radio on Labor Day. It's like going into labor.
See, you know what? That means you're listening to us right now, you dumb ass. You got nothing better to do than listen to this show? Just shows you how addicted you are to the show, and it shows you how much I am living inside of your head 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and personally, I never, ever, and I mean never, ever, think about you at all unless Sean or Josh bring your name up on a phone call or on the show. Otherwise, I don't even think about you because you're not worth thinking about.
Yeah, true.
And I didn't even know I was rated.
How about
I
that?
was unrated. I thought I was unrated.
Now, yeah, he goes after everybody, Nicholas.
You're rated now, Nicholas. You're there now.
Oh, I must be somebody.
12 minutes after the hour as we forget about...
Hey, you know what? You know what Nash just said?
What?
Ryan Stick Ablazin has small testicles.
Oh!
And that's coming from the owner of Jock Journal, you dumbass.
You're going to lose.
Hey Jeff, that you on your rant, you started reminding me of Ric Flair. Have you guys been watching Hard Knocks?
No,
we haven't.
I don't have Hard Knocks.
No.
I don't have HBO.
Nash also says Ryan got an enema once and ate the jelly that came out of his ass.
And now Ryan's dick blazing is probably like, he's like saying to other people, he says, "Oh, don't listen to Sports World Radio. It's a bad show because there are bad people on there."
Yeah, you know what? You just keep bitching and complaining and moaning about us, Ryan, because every day you do that, our listener just goes up and up and up and up. Our listenership is going right through the roof, thanks to you, you dumbass.
It is 13 minutes after the hour on this Monday, September 7th, 2015, Labor Day. As we get to our first story of the day, and then forgetting about that schmuck, the New York Jets quarterback Geno Smith, addressing reporters for the first time since his infamous locker room altercation, said Monday he has no plans to file charges against former teammate Ikampala for breaking his jaw with one punch. And I agree with it, Jeff and Nicholas, because, look, football season starts for the Jets in 6 days. Life's too short to get angry. Forget about it. Move on. A thing got blown out of proportion, and a heated discussion turned into a brawl, into a punch into a jaw. And I say just move on. What do you say, Nick?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. I mean, you can't get upset over things you can't control. So
over a $600, over like a $600 debt. What do you say about that, Jeff? Smart thing by what Geno Smith is doing.
Well, I didn't think he was actually going to press any charges against him because it wasn't a sucker punch. And Geno Smith was wrong. The guy owed him money, and he never took him forever to pay him. So the guy finally had enough.
Yeah, and like I said, life's too short.
That fight could have happened anywhere. It could have happened on the field. It could have happened in the parking lot. It could have happened anywhere. It just so happened to happen in the locker room.
Yeah, and I say if you're the Jets, you don't want this to drag on. You know the season's coming up. And like I pointed out before, life is too short to be angry. So forget about it, move on, realize we're all human and nobody's perfect. So you have to go on and make the best of it and try to not let it become a distraction. Suppose Geno Smith was looking at maybe filing charges, even though he didn't. That could have just dragged on and on. That would have been a team distraction for the Jets.
Yes, and I happen to think they're going to be better off with Ryan Fitzpatrick as their quarterback anyway. That's just my opinion.
Yes, that is true. Ryan Fitzpatrick seems like he is basically the answer because Geno Smith, like Josh pointed out when we've talked about Geno Smith, Jeff and Nick, like what has he done for the Jets since he's been there?
Nothing.
Not very successful.
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
No, I've never been a fan of Geno Smith, even in college. I wasn't a big fan of his. I thought he was overrated. He had one big game at West Virginia where he passed for over like 700 yards against Baylor, and I think that's what put his name on the map. But he's just not that great of a quarterback.
No, he's not.
And speaking of quarterbacks that are what we say maybe overrated or not so good,
Tim Tebow?
The Philadelphia Eagles, as we get to the next story, Tim Tebow on Saturday was released by the Philadelphia Eagles, and Chip Kelly, I applaud you finally. You made the right decision not to add Tim Tebow to the roster. I think that was a smart move because now Tebow is looking for another starting quarterback job. We were all saying, even last week, Jeff, that we thought that Tim Tebow would probably be a backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles.
He's not even worth that.
Right.
He's not even worth that, man. You know where he's going? He's going back to SEC football for ESPN.
Nicholas, your thoughts on Tim Tebow being released by the Philadelphia Eagles? Were you surprised, or did you expect that to happen?
No, you kind of figured it was going to happen. You kind of thought you might make it when they traded Matt Barkley away.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's what I thought, too.
It was the right decision for the Eagles to do that. There were a lot of other big releases on Saturday. I don't think I heard anything about RG3. I don't think they released him on Saturday.
No, RG3 has actually made the team.
Yep.
Can you believe that? They're actually made the team.
And that was, to me, more surprising than the Tim Tebow situation because We talked about this on Friday a little bit, Jeff, or on Thursday of last week, and we talked a little bit about how on the show about how it was possible that very, very possible that RG3 would not be a Washington Redskin. I'm kind of still shocked about that he still made the team.
I am too, but we'll see what happens.
I'm not surprised he made the team. I thought they would trade him, but I didn't think that they would cut him at all. This is his fourth year as a top 5 pick?
Yeah.
They don't get cut very often.
No.
I mean, they may leave him up for a backup, but I definitely thought I think he'd still probably get traded.
And this is a red flag. The reason why I red flag this whole situation and this scenario is because something I believe is going to happen with Jay Gruden and RG3, that some disagreement is going to end up happening, and then you're going to see RG3 gone.
Well, do you really want the Washington Redskins to have him on his team when they got to pay him $16 million a year? What, are you kidding me?
I don't think so. I just don't think that it's wise because he's going to be a distraction.
He's not even worth $1 million a year. You think they're going to pay him 16? Get the flock out of here.
And especially when you think about a few weeks ago when RG3 Nicholas came out and he said that he considers himself to be the best quarterback in the NFL.
Well, you got to think that way, even if you're not. I mean, who wants a quarterback saying, you know what, I'm about the 32nd best quarterback or about the 15th best quarterback? You don't want your quarterback to think that. He may not have come out and should have said it to everybody, but you want him to think he's the best. I mean, you don't want him to think, hey, you know what, I'm about 20th on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, you probably shouldn't have said it to the whole world, but you got to think.
Oh, we must have lost him.
But I think, though, with what we see from the Washington Redskins is that we see a team that is not going to do very, very well. We gave our predictions about where we thought the Redskins would be. My prediction on Saturday's show for the NFL Real Talk is not expected to be very good for Washington. I think a lot of people feel that way. I think if you give the Redskins maybe a couple more years, maybe they're a contending team in the NFC East, but they just don't have it. I don't know where their defense is going to be this year. Who's going to be the future for the Redskins? DJ Gary One Arm, wherever you're at, like I said, you really don't know anything about football. And if you think that RG3 is the future for the Redskins, you're out of your mind. Got to do your research there, bud, to find out why he is more of a bust instead of the real deal for the Washington Redskins.
Exactly.
But how many organizations draft a quarterback with a top 5 pick, and then they draft another quarterback in the 3rd round?
I don't know. I honestly am kind of shocked. Yeah.
It didn't make much sense when it happened. And what are you saying to the quarterback? Yeah, you're a top 5 pick, but we don't think you're going to be any good. It doesn't make any sense. But that's the Washington Redskins for you.
I like what Laura adds. Laura adds, I don't think RG3 has even lived up to what they had expected.
Not even close.
Not for that top 5 pick. What all did they give away from him?
Exactly.
They gave away a ton of draft picks to get him.
Exactly. Not even close.
And did you see it? What was it, last year? When the Rams played the Redskins, they put the players that they drafted instead of RG3.
Right.
And they're all starters for the Rams?
Yeah.
They may not be any good, but at least they're all starters.
They're all starters, and RG3 is sitting on the bench.
Because if you look at the NFC East, I'm looking at Jeff's picks. Nick, for Saturday's NFL Real Talk, Jeff picked the Redskins to be 2-14.
Yep.
Well, I could see that. Maybe win a 3rd game, but
me, I picked them at 2-14, and Josh in the NFC East, he picked them to be 3-13. So all 4 of us, actually all of us, can come into an agreement about how bad the Washington Redskins are going to be. And I've kind of been thinking, as long as Daniel Snyder is like another Jerry Jones, as long as Daniel Snyder continues to remain the owner of the Washington Redskins, I don't expect to see much improvement. Sure, they've had some playoff appearances over the years, but they've gone through, Nicholas, when you think about it, they've gone through one coach after another. You know, Norv Turner, then they brought in Marty Schottenheimer. Then they brought in Steve Spurrier. Look how disastrous Steve Spurrier was with the Washington Redskins. He turned out to being a bust in the NFL. Then he went back to South Carolina to be the college coach for the South Carolina
The only
Gamecocks.
problem with RG3 is when he was in college, there was no playbook. He didn't have to read defenses. He didn't do any of that stuff in college. Now he's got to learn all of that in the NFL. He ain't no freaking NFL quarterback. That's why he's no good. Because
That's right.
College did nothing for him for the NFL. He would have been better off going straight from high school to NFL instead of spending time in college, because who he played for in college did not help him one bit. They didn't have a playbook. He didn't have to read defenses. He didn't have to do this. He didn't have to do that. And all these things he has to do in the NFL, and obviously he can't do it.
Well, Art Briles kind of babied him too in college. He would stand by him during interviews, and if they got tough questions, he would answer for him and kind of send them back to the locker room and just start taking over the interview when you're trying to talk to Griffin. So Art Briles didn't do much for Robert Griffin.
They coddled him in college, didn't they?
Yeah, and look, if you notice, that's kind of what Mac Brown used to do for the Texas Longhorns. Can you name me a Texas Longhorn player under Mac Brown who had a great pro career?
No.
They're all. I mean, that's Charlie Strong took over, and he kicked off about 12 players his first year last year because they kind of got used to doing things a different way. And look at the players that Texas has put out. Other than Jamal Charles,
Right.
they've all been pretty much when they get to the pro level, they're not ready for it.
No, they're not.
24 minutes after the hour, the next thing I get to is hard to believe I'm talking about this. We rarely talk about this, Jeff and Nick, on Sports World Radio. 2 San Antonio high school football players have been suspended and could face criminal charges after one hit a referee from behind and the other subsequently speared him with his helmet during a Friday night high school football game. The 2 defensive backs from John Jay High School hit the back judge in the waning moments of a 15-9 loss at Marble Falls, which is located about 90 miles north of San Antonio.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's right. And
Yeah,
that's a rat-bastard candidate.
It was pretty brutal. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I watched it this morning, and it's just pathetic.
You don't hit a referee or an official, period. And you know that's going to – you know that if you do it intentionally, poof, you're going to get thrown out of the game, possibly suspended, and then, criminal charges. That's just a sad thing for especially for a high school football game on a Friday night. And who would have ever thought that would happen? And here's a quote. Wayne Elliott, Austin Football Officials Association secretary, said, "The first thing we want is that those 2 kids never play football again." I agree.
They were suspended indefinitely from the team and from school.
Mm-hmm.
And from school. That's pretty crazy.
Now they got to live with that the rest of their lives because what they did was wrong. Maybe they had flags go against them. Nick, you said you saw that yourself? Was it because of too many penalties being called on them?
I think they were upset about a call earlier in the game, and the official, he was in the, I think it was what was it, a back judge maybe? He was just standing up.
Back judge. Mm-hmm.
He was just standing there, like how they get ready. On the side with the defense, he takes his defensive pose. His hands on his knees, getting ready to call the action, and he kind of stands up, and this guy just comes out of nowhere and just hits him in the back with a shoulder pad.
Wow!
And then the second he goes down, the other guy, like Sean said, he spears him.
Yeah, the video shows the referee who is watching the play from behind the defensive line getting leveled from behind by a first player, causing the referee's head to snap back. The other player then is seen lowering his helmet and piling it into the referee after he had fallen down. And I like what Laura points out. Way to torpedo their scholastic football career. Great job, dumbasses. Absolutely. That's why they're a rat bastard candidate.
It's pretty pathetic.
I'm watching I'm watching the video right now.
Yeah, they're showing the live video of it. I'm kind of checking that out myself.
Yeah, I'm watching the video right now. Oh, man, the defensive back just goes and nails the guy. He just goes right for the referee. Goes right for the referee. Just takes him out. Right, hits him right in the back, and then somebody else freaking hits him with his helmet. Wow.
28 minutes after the hour, Marble Falls coach Matt Green said John Jay coach Gary Gutierrez apologized after the game. He goes, quote, "I've coached 14 years, and I've never seen anything like that," Green said.
That's crazy, man.
It is. It's nuts.
Wow.
Shabba, you hit it right there. You can't have that at the high school level. It's bad enough when the players act like fools with the kids' sports. Josh goes, picture if that happened to Joey Crawford.
I have a cousin who plays. She's about 10 years old. She plays softball for 10 years old and playing for 2 or 3 years. They had to get rid of their coach because he would start yelling at the kids, throwing his helmet down, throwing his hat down, throwing bats, yelling at the opposing coaches, yelling at the referees, going out there acting like an idiot. I mean, this has been going for like 3 years since she was 7.
Wow.
For 3 years, this happens at this level. I mean, Jiminy Christmas.
It's amazing to think that high school level, high school football, you see, none of us have really ever heard of something like that, especially at the high school level. That just doesn't make any sense at all. I just saw that and I was like, oh my gosh. I said, I got to share this on the chat board and let everybody see that.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. Hey, we're going to run to our first commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow, Showman, and Nicholas Spiva on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Sports World Radio, the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet with Jeff Escow and Sean Mann. We'll be right back.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
Which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hello there. I'm a famous actor. Pretty sure you know who I am. And when I want to know what's going on in the sports world, I tune into Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Showman, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on Sports World Radio. All right, where are we going next, Mr. Shawnee?
Okay, from one big incident to another, the Cleveland Browns have suspended offensive line coach Andy Moeller indefinitely for an unspecified incident. Moeller is in his second season with the Cleveland Browns. The team issued a statement during Monday's practice saying Moeller, quote, was involved in an incident involving allegations that we take very seriously.
Okay.
What's happening with this, Nick?
It's
Here we
kind
go.
of general.
Yeah, we go from the high school where you got 2 kids that got busted and kicked off the team and kicked out of school, and now you got football is becoming just one dirty sport when you talk about coaches or players, even how high school kids just getting themselves busted.
That's kind of vague. I mean, what the heck did he do? I mean, they got in trouble last year, didn't they, for texting?
Mm-hmm.
For sending texts down from the owner's box or something?
Yeah, yep, the texting allegation. That's what happened last year. And, Jeff, you remember the texting that went on for the Cleveland Browns, and we had them as a Rat Basket candidate?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I kind of wish they'd be a little more specific. I mean, what did he do?
Let's see. The team did. Well, here's what it says. The team did not provide any other details. The Browns felt it was best for Mueller to take time away to, quote, focus on his personal matters. So some kind of I don't know, it was like a personal matter or it's an unspecified incident. So the Browns weren't very descriptive on why they suspended their offensive line coach. So they just want to keep that between Mueller and the Browns and keep it private. That's probably the way I look at it since I'm looking at this story. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of last year when the Rangers lost Ron Washington. He just kind of quit. Mm-hmm. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of the same kind of deal. He just kind of says, I'm resigning and for some vague reason, and he just leaves.
He's probably getting
It's kind of the same thing. It turns out he had an affair with some woman. But when you do stuff like this, people's minds start racing, and everybody thought, well, maybe he's back doing cocaine again or is doing some hard drugs. So, I mean, it's kind of vague, and it just leaves people to wonder about what the heck did he do?
Yeah, and that's I will put them down as a candidate. So it's kind of a good way to start the week out before we get to Friday in the Rat Bass of the week, because there's 2 candidates when you look at it. Now you got the Browns again, which is kind of surprising that there's some kind of a distraction. But yeah, the texting. So Browns better be careful. They're going to keep getting themselves in hot water.
They better. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and remember this.
Suspended by Goodell.
That's right.
And think about this too, Jeff and Nicholas. Think about how a lot of the media, even going back to last year when Johnny Football came to Cleveland, has centered a lot on the Cleveland Browns, expecting, this is going to be their year. They're going to be so good. But we have different views about how we look at the Cleveland Browns, especially from the NFL Real Talk from Saturday.
That's not a mess of an organization. Them, the Redskins, the Raiders, Jiminy Christmas.
Now, looking at Jeff, did you have something to add?
No, I just said you think.
Jeff added this, though, too, for the NFL Real Talk. You know, Nicholas, we talk about them. The Browns, he said they're expected to be 5-11, and, of course, I have a different view about the Browns, too. I have the Browns kind of sitting Josh has them, I believe, at 3-13, and, of course, for me, I have them at 3-13, too. So Cleveland not expected to be so good with what we're seeing from them.
And they just traded one of the better running backs, didn't they? Terrence West?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he have a good year last year?
Yeah.
Who the heck did they have come in that's better than him? The rookie from Miami?
Yeah,
Duke
I think
Johnson?
So. Yeah, that's who they're going to have, right?
Jeez Louise.
And, yeah, they open up against the Jets, and, of course, Josh McCown is expected to be the leader of that team for Cleveland, Nicholas. I don't know how productive he can be for Cleveland.
That would be the Powder Puff game of the week right there. Cleveland and the Jets. Jeez Louise. Let me get my popcorn ready for that game.
Another topic that we get to for the NFL 37 minutes after the hour, Arian Foster's speedy rehab is changing things for the Houston Texans. When he first injured his groin, Arian Foster's situation and consequently the Houston Texans situation at running back seemed dire. It shouldn't have. Though the injury was significant and surgery was needed to repair a muscle torn from the bone, Foster is healing much more quickly than many expected. There's even optimism from those familiar with his rehab that he'll be back on the field within the first month of the season.
That's kind of crazy to think that, because first it was he was out for the year, and now they're thinking he might be back within a month. That's pretty good if it can happen.
Arian Foster is a big part, though, Nicholas, of the Texans' offense, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've been following the Texans on Hard Knocks, and they don't really have a backup. I think Alfred Blue is their backup, a second-year guy from LSU.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know how good he is. And you have the two new quarterbacks, Hoyer and Mallett.
Yep.
There's another big question mark in their offensive line. They were trying out a cornerback at running back during one of these. It's just about 2 weeks ago. I was watching it. I got a little behind on it, but they're trying out a cornerback who they've since cut at running back. So they don't have much of a behind Arian Foster. They don't have really the best running back in it. They just bring in a Polk from, I think he played at Washington last year or the Eagles. I can't remember who, but he's their second or third string guy.
Jeff, what are your thoughts about Arian Foster? How big of a presence should he be? Because there's been a lot of question marks about their running back situation for Houston.
Well, Andrew Luck has never had a wide receiver like that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what he can do with a wide receiver like that. And he's got T.Y. Hilton on the other side, right?
Right.
So it should help T.Y. Hilton out, and you can't double-team him anymore, so it should open up the passing game. And if they can get the running game working, that should definitely open up the passing game.
However, I still say that the team that is going to be the team to beat in the AFC South and most likely the team to beat in the AFC, and I have to say this, Nicholas, too, is the Indianapolis Colts, if you look at how the Texans need to approach that AFC South division, because the Colts have Andrew Luck, as we all know, but they have made major improvements to their team with getting Frank Gore and adding other big pieces to their offense. I just don't know who can really stop the Colts.
Yeah, it just depends on their defense, how well their defense has played. If the Colts have had a really great defense in a long time, have they? They've been kind of suspect at defense, but they, like you said, their offense, they have a ton of weapons. A ton of weapons. They drafted a guy from Miami. They brought in Andre Johnson, Frank Gore, plus, like you said, T.Y. Hilton, and Andrew Luck, of course. I mean, their offense is going to be great.
Their offense is going to be great, and, of course, yeah, the defense is a question mark. And I think the question with the Colts, though, too, is can they win big games on the road? Remember, they open up against Buffalo this weekend. So when we do NFL Real Talk, we'll have a lot of perspective about what we expect from the Colts and the Bills. That's going to be the big way we can look at the Indianapolis Colts is can they win on the road. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, that's going to be a good test. So we'll see how well the Bills have another new quarterback, Tyrod Taylor. And then LaShawn McCoy, is he going to be healthy? It's going to be there's a lot of question marks for the Bills.
Speaking of the Bills, I was shocked to learn about this. They showed a list of players, the entire list, Jeff and Nick, of players that were cut. When I saw that the Bills cut Matt Castle, released him, that also shocked me too. I was like saying, Bills, how could you do something like this? I was like, how could you get rid of Matt Castle, who's got a lot more NFL experience, and then you cut them? I couldn't believe. I don't know what Rex Ryan is thinking, and why they thinks that Tyrone Taylor is going to be the leader for that team for the Bills. Big mistake by Buffalo.
Yeah,
I don't know. He could have been that much better than Tyrod Taylor or the other guy from Florida State. What was his E.J. Manuel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if they're that close, I guess you go with a younger guy. That's the only thing I can think of. More mobile, and they're trying to maybe do a little of the zone read kind of offense.
What was your thoughts, Jeff and Nicholas, when you heard that Matt Castle was released on Saturday? Were you shocked or surprised by that?
I was kind of shocked. Yeah, I was kind of shocked. I didn't expect him to be released because now you got a rookie quarterback in there with a E.J. Manuel as your backup, and E.J. Manuel is not even a good quarterback. I happen to think that Castle's better than him.
Nicholas, your thoughts? Were you shocked too?
No, not really. Not with the way I've been hearing about Tyrod Taylor and how they're talking him up. But Castle, he's been cut from 3 or 4 different teams now.
Yeah.
So he's not the best quarterback out there. So it really doesn't surprise me. A veteran and teams try to get younger. And Tyrod Taylor, he's not a rookie. He's been around for several years. But he played with the Ravens for a couple years. But I don't really know how good he's going to be, though.
I wouldn't be shocked if a team like, say, Washington went and picked up Matt Castle.
No, with Washington, I wouldn't be shocked with anything.
Because if they cut RG3, they're going to need a backup quarterback. aren't they?
You don't think Colt McCoy's the answer?
Well, even if Colt McCoy, even if
I was being facetious, by the way.
No, I know that, but even if with Colt McCoy there, you still need, because they're going to cut RG3. I don't think they're going to keep him. So you still need another quarterback. And with, all those quarterbacks available, why not snag one of them?
Well, they kind of do what's not expected. You would think they would go after somebody, a veteran, but if you think they should be doing it, they probably won't do it. They kind of go the other way.
Yeah, you're probably right, huh?
Let's do something reasonable. Let's do that. No, let's go the other way. Let's go the 180-degree opposite of that.
Chaba goes, the bottom line is the Bills really don't have a quarterback, and I agree with that. Buffalo's been a team that's been searching for a quarterback for a long time. Haven't really had a big quarterback since Jim Kelly.
Correct.
And ever since then, it's just been one quarterback after another to try to get the Buffalo Bills back. I thought the best chance maybe they had to have a really good quarterback was Drew Bledsoe, but then Drew Bledsoe wasn't very productive, and Buffalo had chances to make the playoffs, and they didn't. And I think, Rex Ryan needs to be very careful now because remember, Nicholas, a couple months ago, Rex Ryan came out with his big mouth like he always has been from years past, guaranteeing that this would be the end of the drought for the Buffalo Bills and that they would make the playoffs.
Huh. Hey, you know what? We're going to run to our first update of the day. This update is brought to you by JockJournal.com. Head on over to JockJournal.com and get the real news about your football team at JockJournal.com. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
All right, Jeff and Nicholas, thank you very much. 44 minutes after the hour on this Monday, September 7th, 2015, Labor Day. In Major League Baseball, there was a lot of action for this holiday weekend, or of course this holiday, in Major Leagues. Here's the games going on in progress right now. Bottom of the sixth inning, the Athletics lead the Astros 7-2. Rockies lead the Padres 6-4. Diamondbacks 6, Giants 1. The Mariners and the hosting the Rangers right now. That game is in a stalemate, top of the first inning. Just started, by the way. Finals from today, the Yankees, who have been kind of red hot of late, have won 8 of their last 9 games. They beat the Baltimore Orioles 8-6. The Mets over the Nationals 8-5. Tigers over the Rays 5-4. Reds over Pirates 3-1. Brewers 9, Marlins 1. The Red Sox 11, Blue Jays 4. Indians 3, White Sox 2. Cubs shut out Cardinals 9-0. Braves at Phillies, Twins at Royals, and lastly, the Dodgers taking on the Angels. That is interleague play, the City of Angels matchup. In the NFL, with the preseason coming to a conclusion, Thursday night football, the real fun begins. The NFL season begins on that night. It will be the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots raising their 4th Super Bowl to the rafters, taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then, of course, we got all the other NFL action coming up for NFL Real Talk this weekend. I am Sean Mann for the first update of the day. This update was brought to you by JockJournal.com. Go on over to JockJournal.com and follow them today with all the great writers there. When we come back from this commercial break and update, more sports talk with Jeff Eskow and Nic Spiva and Sean Mann. And then don't forget, at the top of the hour, we got Josh Lopez coming in for the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour. Be right back after this commercial.
Sports World Radio, the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet with Jeff Eskow and Sean Mann. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration.
Genius. He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hi, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All I want is to be loved.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Show Man, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. All right, where are we going next, boys?
All right, the next story we get to at 49 minutes after the hour. Josh Lopez posted a story on the chat room. NFL.com has reported that they have given out their top 10 quarterback ranks, and they have put Tony Romo at number 5 and Peyton Manning is number 8.
That's a bunch of bullshit. I'm just telling you right now, that's a bunch of bull.
Nicholas, what do you say to that? They're praising Romo a lot this year, you know, going back to the month of July.
Well, he had a great year last year. I mean, you can't say they didn't.
1 year don't make a freaking quarterback, dude. The guy's been the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys for how many years?
Since 2006.
The guy has one good year, and they tell and now they say that he's one of the 5th best quarterbacks in the NFL. Scratch my ass.
He said more than one good year. He said several good years.
Yeah, 8-8.
They act like the Dallas Cowboys they've been great. They've stunk. They've stunk it up for the last 20 years.
8-8, 8-8,
yeah.
8-8. Yeah, those are good freaking years.
They were 5-11 before that.
Yeah. He stinks. He's terrible. He ain't no top 5 quarterback in nobody's freaking list.
How can you blame Tony Romo for the failures of the defense?
Because
their
Tony
defense
Romo
has been terrible.
Well,
their
you know
offensive line was terrible. They were just a bad football team for like 15 years.
Tony Romo gets blamed when he loses the game, and he gets congratulated when he wins the game. Correct?
No.
Everything falls on Tony, right?
No. He gets blamed for everything.
Correct.
DeMarco Murray fumbles against Green Bay. That's Tony Romo's fault.
No, it's not. What's going to happen? What's going to happen now when they end up at 8-8? What are you people going to say then? Because what I'm going to say is to everybody who says that Tony Romo is a top 5 quarterback, when they end up at 8-8, you know what I'm going to say? See, I told you, bitches, I was right and you were wrong.
What about Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning should not be
quarterback, but
Peyton Manning should not be. He should not be behind Tony Romo. No stinking way.
What did he do last year? What did Peyton Manning do last year? Other than he broke some records.
Okay, you want to know something? Peyton Manning has one so-and-so year, and Tony Romo has one good year, and they reverse every. Get the hell out of here! Tony Romo is not. Tony Romo is not even the same class as Peyton Manning as far as quarterback goes. Tony Romo couldn't put on Peyton Manning's jock.
Why all the hate for Tony Romo? What did he ever do?
He stinks.
He doesn't stink. Matt Castle stinks.
He is not. Tony Romo is not a top 5 quarterback, not a top 10 quarterback at all. The guy has one good season, and everybody goes crazy. I got an idea. Okay? I got an idea. How about everybody shut the hell up and see what happens with Tony? And then call it like you see it. If Tony is screwing up, say it. If Tony's doing good, say it.
And I have to agree with Jeff on this, Nicholas, because, look, I've been with Jeff now it'll be 7 years next month. And in the time we've covered Tony Romo, I remember there were times that the Cowboys in years past have always blown games. And everybody says, well, why can't the Cowboys win? Why can't the Cowboys win? Why does Romo keep losing? Because like what Jeff says, Romo is a below-average quarterback at best.
Below average? No, he's not below average.
Oh, come on.
Tony Romo last year had all the weapons he needed, correct?
Right.
And what happened?
Well, let's talk about the DeMarco Murray's fumble against the Packers when there was nobody in front of him. He makes that touchdown, they win.
Well, that's
not Tony Romo's fault.
No, I don't blame.
Hey,
I don't blame that on Tony Romo at all. I blame that on DeMarco Murray.
Does a below-average quarterback have a 97.6 quarterback rating for a career?
How many
is that a below-average quarterback?
How many
Just
playoff?
Is that a below-average quarterback for 97.6 for a career?
How many playoff games has he won?
2 playoff games.
You can't make the playoffs by one guy. Are you kidding me? This is a team. It's not golf.
He's won 2 playoff games.
It's not golf. He's got a team around him.
The team stinks. And so does he.
I've been well aware of that, but you can't blame all that on Tony Romo.
And so does he. Well, I blame everything that happens on the offense. I blame on him.
So you just tell me you didn't blame DeMarco Murray's fumble on him.
He throws an interception. It's his fault. He throws the ball out of bounds. His fault. He hands the ball off and DeMarco Murray drops it. Not Tony Romo's fault. I don't blame that on Tony Romo one bit. But Tony Romo calls the offensive plays. Is he or is he not in charge of the offense when he's on the field?
Well, yeah, everybody quarterback is.
Okay.
But what about defense? What about defense giving a late play?
Their defense.
How about
their defense
stinks.
is horrible. Their defense stinks.
Okay, so that when they have a terrible defense, we don't know about their special teams. But how can they? If Tony Romo does all he can do, say against like who did the Broncos 2 years ago, they should have won that game. But their defense stunk. They gave up to Peyton Manning. Now, how do you blame that on Tony Romo?
I don't blame that on Tony Romo. I blame everything.
So how is he a below-average quarterback?
He is a below-average quarterback.
But he's got 97.6 quarterback rating.
How many years? How many years has
he
been
on that?
How many years has he been on that team?
How many years has Jerry Jones called the? You can't blame all that on Tony Romo.
No,
That's just ridiculous.
How many years has Tony Romo
Since
been?
2004.
How many years has he been the starting quarterback?
Since 2006.
Okay, and how many years? Let me see. Who came in the same time as him?
Oh my gosh! Can't
Well,
remember
that's probably about Phillip Rivers.
Okay, Phillip Rivers is a better quarterback than he is.
And Rivers has won some playoff games.
Correct.
Well, look, Rivers should have won a Super Bowl with the teams he had.
Correct. I totally agree with you, but I still think Phillip Rivers is a better quarterback than Tony Romo.
Are you looking at stats, or are you looking at?
I'm looking at
just
performances.
gut feeling?
I'm looking at performances.
Well, Tony Romo's had over a 90 quarterback rating.
I don't give a flying fig Newton about the quarterback rating. The quarterback rating means crap. It don't mean nothing.
You're the one that told me a quarterback rating is how you judge a quarterback.
Quarterback rating don't mean crap.
Did you not tell me that?
No, I don't judge a quarterback by his rating. I don't give a crap about it by his rating.
Yeah. Oh, that's not what you told me last year.
And really, who's rating the quarterbacks?
I don't know. Who NFL stats, I guess.
Exactly, the NFL. It's not being done by an impartial company, is it?
Why? It's the stats. I mean, you can't be. It's a formula. It's not like they say, "Hey, we're going to give him a better rating." It's just the stats of completion rating, completions, interceptions, and touchdowns.
You know, you sound like Tony Romo. You got more excuses than Tony Romo's got liver pills.
You can't tell me he's a below-average quarterback. You got all these other guys out there.
He's
Andy
a way
Dalton,
below-average
Ryan,
quarterback. How many playoff games?
Tannehill.
How many playoff games has he been in and not won?
Well, how's it all his fault?
How many playoff games has he been in and not won?
How many times have they not made the playoffs? And that's his fault too?
Correct.
That's pathetic. That's pathetic. You can't blame it all on him. When the defense gives up 100,
I'm telling you something right now. Back? As long as Tony Romo is the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, they will not win a Super Bowl.
Why? You don't think he's a good leader?
No, I don't.
Why?
Because I don't think he's a good leader. I don't think he knows what he's talking about. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I don't think he's a good leader.
And, Nicholas, I have to admit this, too, that Cowboys and the Cowboy fans, I hope they've gotten over the loss against Green Bay because they're all upset because Des Bryant did not have control of the football that was ruled an incomplete pass back in January of this year.
It doesn't matter if he'd have caught it. Their defense wouldn't have stopped Aaron Rodgers anyway. It doesn't matter. If he'd have caught it and they scored a touchdown, I guarantee you Aaron Rodgers would have drove down the field with probably 5 plays, and they would have scored a touchdown to win the game. I mean, that's all there is to it. If you watch the game, you didn't know that was a fact. And now this year the defense is horrible again. They were better than last year, but they're going to be a decent team.
And I'm sure Skippy Bayless loves these lists about how they put Romo at a top 5 or even at a number 4 or number 2.
You're telling me there are 16 quarterbacks in the NFL right now, starting quarterback, you take over Tony Romo?
Yes.
16?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. I'll tell you something right now. I take Russell Wilson over him. I take Phillip Rivers over him.
Yeah.
I take Peyton Manning over him. I take Tom Brady over him. Okay?
Okay, those are elite quarterbacks. I'm not saying he's elite. He's as good as Tom Brady.
I take Eli Manning over him. I would take Aaron Rodgers over him.
Okay, so what is that?
Okay, what did I just name? 8? And he's still not even in the top 10.
Yep.
That's 8 I just rattled off right off the top of my head. 8 names. I didn't even put Ben Roethlisberger in there or Drew Brees or Joe Flacco yet.
And
he's not better than Joe. He's better than Joe Flacco.
No, he's not better than Joe Flacco. I hate to tell you that.
I have to say this too, Jeff, and this one's addressed to you, Nicholas. Josh, Jeff, and I, back on, like July 9th, when James Perzelli put Romo at number 4, I have the entire top 10 list of Jeff's, of Josh's, and mine.
In fact,
Tony Romo is nowhere to be seen.
In fact, I'd even take Danny White over Tony Romo.
You're crazy.
Okay? I'd take Danny White over Tony
Danny
Romo.
White. He was a better punter than a quarterback.
I would definitely take Tony White over Danny White over Tony Romo, for sure.
Y'all also picked Jacksonville to beat Dallas last year. So I see there's a little bias here in the anti-Dallas Cowboy.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing you weren't here Saturday night for when we did our records for each NFL team and when we got to the Dallas Cowboys. It's a good thing you weren't here for that.
It doesn't bother me, but I mean, just to blame all of Dallas's woes on Romo, that's kind of crazy. That's like blaming all of the woes on every quarterback. I mean, that's like blaming Peyton Manning for them losing to Baltimore a couple of years ago when their defense fell asleep.
Chavez says, Nicholas, White had more playoff victories than Romo.
Well, yeah, that's when they had a better team. I mean, look at the schedules. Look at the Cowboys had one good year in 2007, 13-3, and then after that it was downhill: 8-8, 8-8, 5-11, 6-4. That was Romo's record, but they've had horrible teams.
Too. And remember this too. It also add 2008 to it because the Cowboys had a chance to make the playoffs before we go to commercial break back in 08, and then they got thumped by Philadelphia 44-6, and then there was all anger and sadness in Dallas.
I'll take Phil Simms over Tony Romo.
Oh, Jeff's favorite quarterback, Phil Simms, used to play for the Giants.
Okay.
2 Super Bowls, too.
I'll even take Joe Namath over freaking Tony Romo.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, the hate is strong with you.
I'll even take Fran Tarkington over Tony Romo.
Or Joe Cap.
How about Gary Hogaboom?
Gary Hogaboom, good grief. Going back ways.
Nicholas, Josh addresses this to you, I think, and Ronnie. The Cowboys are what they are, a overhyped, below-average team.
Exactly right.
Who has the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl? I don't think anybody does.
Smokin' Ronnie does.
Smokin' Ronnie does. Skip Bayless does.
I'm talking about these so-called experts.
Skip Bayless does.
I mean, hello, confident people. I didn't say I'm a Cowboy fan. You guys know that, and I don't think they're going to make the Super Bowl.
I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs.
But you can't blame every single fault on the Cowboys on Romo. That's crazy.
I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs.
And what about Jerry Jones? Jerry Jones has probably got a belief that the Cowboys will host the NFC Championship game and go all the way to the Super Bowl.
Well, he believes that every year. You can't take what Jerry Jones says seriously anyway.
Hey, I mean, you're the owner. You would have to think that.
Correct. No, you have to
think that.
You have to.
You can't just say, well, unless you're just a crappy team.
But he said But he says it every year.
Well, yeah, you got to get your players and your fans.
He says
He's
it
got
every
to
year.
talk to the fans.
I know.
We got to run to commercial.
Yeah,
We're
we
a few
gotta-
minutes behind.
Nicholas is heading on out. Thank you so much for joining us today, Nicholas. We appreciate you hanging with us here on Sports World Radio.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. It's been a fun Cowboy Bash segment.
You bet.
I've enjoyed it.
You bet. We're going to run to a quick commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Sean Mann on
Sports World Radio.
Sports World Radio, the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet with Jeff Escow and Sean Mann. We'll be right back.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
When I'm not out there acting and I want to know what's going on in the sports world, I tune in to Sports World Radio.
She asked me maybe if I could share her sorrow.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on Sports World Radio. Joining us right now, like he does every Monday through Friday, whenever he feels like it, because he's the producer of this show, Josh Lopez. What's up there, buddy?
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
How you doing, pal?
I'm doing great. How's everybody's Labor Day? Because listening to this cowboy nonsense is like labor.
Doing good. It's 4:06 p.m. on the west, which is 7:06 p.m. on the east. When we last left off, before we had to go to commercial break, we were talking about the Dallas Cowboys and how NFL.com has come out and put Romo ranked number 5 on that top 10 quarterback list. Josh, I believe you've got some bones to pick, or you're not too thrilled about this.
Let me start off with NFL.com, please.
Sure.
Because I don't know how you could be call yourself a journalist or a broadcaster and have a rational mind to say that Tony Romo is top 5 in anything in the NFL. Not even just quarterback, just offense in general. He's not even the top 20 of offense.
Because everybody...
And then secondly, come up with the excuses about the defense ranking this. It doesn't matter. When you're in the playoffs, you depend on your quarterback, not your defense.
That's right.
And third, stats don't mean crap when you don't play well when it matters the most. Hell, you see Drew Brees and Dan Marino have great stats, but hey, they don't win Super Bowls every year, right?
That's right. Dan Marino was a good quarterback. He had a lot of playoff wins. He broke records, but yeah, he never could win the big one, which was the Super Bowl.
It's unbelievable. How can anybody have a rational mind and say Tony Romo's in the top 5 of anything in the NFL?
Josh is not very happy about this.
What is the NFL looking? What are they trying to get out of this? Sympathy for Tony Romo?
they're all happy because they're all saying that they probably believe that Romo's getting much praise because, Jeff, Cowboys had a winning record. Romo and the Cowboys
Ronnie, he's not top 10. He's not even top 20. Don't go there. I will go there.
Look at that, Jeff. Your nephew says that Romo's a top 10.
No, he's not. He's not even a... Listen, I rattled off 12 names before I even got to his. I can rattle off 12 names, probably even 15 quarterbacks before I even get to him.
All right, let's do it. Since I'm on here, let's do it. Me and you'll go back and forth.
Okay, Russell Wilson.
Joe Flacco.
Drew Brees.
Matt Ryan.
Phillip Rivers.
Colin Kaepernick.
Eli Manning.
Okay. Andy Dalton.
Tom Brady.
Aaron Rodgers.
Peyton Manning.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Do you want us to keep going?
I'd say that is a good list.
And see, I'm not being a homer. I haven't even put Jay Cutler in this list.
Unbelievable.
You freaking humps.
Unbelievable.
How everybody praises him. What's going to happen when Romo has a bad season? All you experts out there won't have a lot to say after 2015.
Maybe Kaepernick was a stretch, but hey, at least he played in the Super Bowl.
I'm going to be thinking of two people for Sunday night, and that's going to be Jeff and Ronnie when the Cowboys host the Giants on NBC. And we know that probably Chris Collinsworth is going to be so biased toward the Cowboys. He always, I think, enjoys seeing the Cowboys.
Stand that guy. How is he... let me ask you this. Why do we need foreign players as broadcasters on every single sports game?
It's driving me crazy.
Can somebody explain that?
It's driving me crazy.
Should I add that as a candidate?
I'd rather have one person in the booth than having a bunch of people just spewing their stupid opinions to stroke that network's propaganda.
Exactly.
It's not even their real opinions.
I'm with you on that.
Jeff and Josh, look what Ronnie says. Teddy Bridgewater is not better. How can you say that?
Oh, poor Boobala. He's going to have more playoff victories in his career than Romo will.
And that's addressed towards you, Jeff. I'm sure Ronnie's just sitting there shaking his head like, how can you put these quarterbacks who've been like non-factors on that list?
Well, let me see. Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl. Tony Romo doesn't have one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Peyton Manning has one. Tony doesn't. Eli has one. Tony doesn't.
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck.
He's going to
Andrew Luck's won more playoff. Andrew Luck's won more playoff games in 3 years than Tony Romo's been in the freaking league.
Ronnie's disagreeing with you both.
Russell Wilson has won more playoff games than Tony Romo, and he's been in the league less time.
And won Super Bowl, which was 2013.
Right. Hey, Russell Wilson's got a Super Bowl, and Tony Romo still doesn't have one. Okay? Matt Ryan is better than him.
Yep.
I could play this game with you all day long. And Ronnie, you'll continue to lose. You know that, buddy.
Matt Castle is better than Tony Romo.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I would.
I don't know if I'd go that far. But I know...
Hey, I don't know what Nicholas is talking about, the defense not playing good. They actually played good last year. That was the best part of their team, and DeMarco Murray, not Tony Romo.
I know. I'm with you.
DeMarco Murray was a big, big part of their offense last year.
Now you're going to rely to Darren McFadden. Give me a break.
Ronnie says, Josh and Jeff and Sean, listen to me. Wilson's on a better team.
So is that my fault? So maybe you think you should yell at Jerry Jones to get better players, huh?
And now he's saying Matt Ryan is not better, Josh.
Matt Ryan is much better than Tony Romo. Okay?
Yeah, Romo was relying on his running back last year, not his throwing ability. Give me a break.
And the guy's 35 years old, Ronnie. I'm telling you,
he's over the hill and overrated.
Right.
That tells you?
You know what? Tony Romo was past his prime. He's on the downhill of his career right now. So he's only going to get worse and worse and worse.
We are equal opportunity ripper. This is because ESPN and everybody strokes Tony Romo's ball sack doesn't mean we have to.
That's right.
RB won't
McFadden,
even...
hey, listen. McFadden can get hurt getting out of his bed. Okay? The guy can pull a hamstring getting out of his bed to go to the bathroom at night.
Roddy goes, it's not my fault that we have got Romo on our team.
I got an idea, Ronnie. Maybe you should root for a different team.
I'm going to be thinking of both Jeff and Ronnie. Boy, Sunday night. Get ready for that. And I know Josh is right. Hey, Josh, I was wondering, maybe I should add that to the list. You know, former players get hired on as
It's Labor Day, and we got 3 candidates for Rat Bastard of the Week.
All right,
that tells you what Sports World Radio is about.
That's right. That's right. It's only Monday. You know what? We ended the show on Friday, and then the 3 of us got together on Friday night, and we had a Rat Bastard Friday night, and we weren't even doing the show.
Sean, would you like to tell the people who's actually the Rat Bastard of the Week as of now? From our conversation?
From last week?
No, I don't think he even remembers, Josh.
Oh. You remember, right, Jeff?
I sure as hell do remember.
Tell the piece what happened.
Okay. The 3 of us were talking on Friday night, like we always do sometimes on Friday nights, and Josh forgot to do something or add something to the Rat Bastard candidate. So I immediately said, well, you forgot. So guess what's going to happen, mister? Josh is officially be a candidate for the Rat Bastard of the Week.
This is a bunch of BS, man.
But let me ask you
I'm the Rat Bastard of the Week.
I didn't say you were. I said you're a candidate. I said you're the first candidate. But let me ask you a question. Did you or did you not forget to put that on there?
I did forget.
Then what does that mean? That means you have to go on the Rat. You have to be a candidate for the Rat Bastard.
All right, I got 5 candidates for this week. Not bad. Oh, Ronnie says, hey, Jeff and Josh, Joseph Randall will start in Cowboys for Life.
Joseph Randall. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Yeah, exact Joseph. If you're pinning your hopes on Joseph Randall.
Yeah, the guy who's too busy shoplifting freaking deodorant at Walmart.
Exactly. If you're pinning your life on him, you got a freaking problem, man. You got 7 players on that team who are either coming off injuries, didn't play last year, or can't get off the weed, and that you're going to depend on to win for this team? What are you, crazy? What are you, nuts? Come on, really?
Unbelievable.
And the best player on the offense from last year ain't there no more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I don't care how big those holes the offensive line makes. Those 2 running backs, Joseph Randall and the other dude, McFadden, ain't going to get through them like Murray did.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Ronnie's saying, hey, Josh, at least the Cowboys got farther than the Bears last year.
Boo-hoo. We're talking about the Cowboys, not the Bears.
That's right.
And look what Chavez says. I can't wait for October 4th in the Dome. It's Drew Brees versus the girls.
That's right. It's going to be the Cowgirls and the Saints in that game there. That should be very interesting.
That's a Sunday night game.
16 minutes and the girls.
16 minutes after the hour, we got to go to another commercial break.
You're listening to Jeff Escow, Showman, and Josh Lopez on
Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Have a question for Sean or Jeff? Tweet them now at Sports World Radio or on Facebook at Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours each and every Monday through Friday right here on Sports World Radio and also on jockjournal.com/SWR. Don't forget to check out our sister station, jockjournal.com. All right, boys, where are we going next? Oh, really quick. Ronnie, if you're going to pin your hopes on Lance Dunbar and Tony Romo, you're lucky if you win 5 games this year.
Ladies, I guess it's about that time. 19 minutes after the hour, right, Josh?
Correct.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on this Labor Day holiday, it's the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour. What did the schmuck say today?
Skippy Bayless said that Darren McFadden is going to have more than 10 touchdowns this season for my Dallas Cowboys.
Who?
Darren McFadden.
Get the hell out of here.
Well, come on, Jeff. He played with the Oakland Raiders.
I don't give a fig Newton who he played with.
He's going to the Cowboys, though, according to Skippy.
I don't care. Yeah, that guy, let me ask you a question.
All right, go ahead.
How much has he been hurt during training camp, McFadden?
I say 40%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I rest my case.
Skippy Bayless said that my Dallas Cowboys are the epitome of what a successful sports organization is. I find that funny because the Pittsburgh Steelers have more Super Bowls than you. That's neither here or there.
Let's see, Skippy. Let's see. The Cowboys haven't been big since the 1990s. The Steelers have won 6 Super Bowls, and they have actually won 2 since 1995. And, Jeff, it's addressed towards you since Skippy praises the Cowboys and said they're America's team and they're the real deal.
They're not.
Real deal according to who?
If they're the real deal, then they've been winning Super Bowls left and right.
Correct.
Ronnie says this. Hey, Josh, don't forget about Dez Bryant, Terrence Williams, and Cole Beasley.
Yeah, they're real.
Dez Bryant and everybody else, basically, right?
Yeah, they're the real deal, all right. They're the real losers of the NFC East.
Terrence Williams and Cole Beasley, 2 jabronis I don't even know.
Yeah, and you want to know something? I guarantee you they'll put one-on-one coverage on those 2 schmucks and double-team Dez Bryant. Let's see if he gets the ball then.
Dez Bryant will be upset. I'm not good at the football enough.
Yeah,
you know why you're not getting the football enough? It's because you got no other wide receiver on the other team on the other side that's good enough.
Yeah, and you have no heart, my friend.
That's right. Throw the ball to Cole Beasley and Terrence Williams all you want.
Skippy Bayless said that the New England Patriots made a mistake letting go of Reggie Wayne.
Wait a minute. Hold the phone. Okay, Skippy. Last week, if memory serves me correctly, you thought it was a mistake that the Patriots signed Reggie Wayne. Now you flip-flop and say it was a mistake to release. You are such an idiot. You really are. Because here's the point. You flip-flop, and remember, you change your what's that thing that you say there,
Change
Jeff?
your mind more than a woman takes her tampons in summer period.
That's exactly you, Skippy. That truly defines who you are. You dumb, stupid schmuck.
Jeff, anything on that?
He said everything I could say right there.
Jeff says Wayne is 1,000,000 years old anyway.
All right. Ready for the next vote, ladies and gentlemen?
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Skippy Bayless said that my Kansas City Royals let me down this past weekend, getting swept by the Chicago White Sox.
Big stinking deal. It's going to happen in baseball. Sweeps are going to happen. I lost 3 out of 4, Skippy, and I had to put up Chicago stuff the entire week. It happened.
Hey, Skip, you jackass. There's still 12 games in front, first place.
And the Royals are fine.
I agree with both of you gentlemen. Just speaking from my point of view as a White Sox fan, I find it funny that I know they're not making the playoffs here, but they swept the best team in the AL this past weekend.
Yeah, and he's making
on the road.
They probably played their best 3 games of the year.
Yes,
Chicago White Sox, right? And it just happened to be against the Kansas City Royals. But it doesn't matter. The Kansas City Royals are still 12 games up on Minnesota, and the Kansas City Royals' magic number is 15. So it doesn't matter, Skip. I could see if you said that, Skip, I could see if you said that maybe if they were up by 6 games and they lost and they got swept, now they're only up by... But they're up by 12. It does not matter.
And also, Skip, they're not your Kansas City Royals.
That's
You're
right.
only going for them because they're winning, you idiot.
Exactly right.
Skippy Bayless said that Chip Kelly is not he's not open-minded when it comes to my man, Tim Tebow.
He is open-minded. He realized that Tim Tebow won't do anything worth hill of beans, so they cut him.
But, Jeff, Skip is upset because he thought Tim Tebow could win Comeback Player of the Year award.
Tim Tebow is not an NFL quarterback, will never be an NFL quarterback, and if he can't make it on Chip Kelly's team, he ain't going to be able to make it on any other team. Now, let me say something here, okay, really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's 32 teams.
Correct.
Each team has 3 quarterbacks.
Uh-huh.
That's 96 quarterbacks.
Correct.
Right.
Wow, 96 and Tim Tebow can't find a job? What does that say? That he's not good. That he stinks. He's not an NFL quarterback. If there are 95 other quarterback positions out there and not one team came and asked and did a waiver move or anything to get him on their team, what does that say about Tim Tebow's capabilities of being an NFL quarterback? You know what it says? He ain't got any.
Skippy Bayless said that Tim Tebow should go to the CFL.
You know what?
CFL.
That's the Canadian Football League. Let him go up there and have a great career because he ain't going to have it down here in the NFL. Go play Canadian football because that's all you're really good at because it's kind of like college. It's kind of like college football anyway.
Speaking of college football, Skippy Bayless said that college football brought him the emotional relief he needed during this process of Tim Tebow being released by my Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, you know what there, Skippy? Starting next week, go listen to the SEC network, and you can go listen to Tim Tebow, and you can get all the fill you want of him.
The idea of him talking about college football makes me sick. I'm tired of it already.
Skippy Bayless said that Ray Lewis is the most overrated middle linebacker of all time, and he has nothing on Dallas Cowboys middle linebacker Orlando McClain.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
Is that why Ray Lewis has won a Super Bowl, you schmuck?
Let me ask
Super Bowls.
Let
me ask you a question, Skip. Who knows the name Ray Lewis compared to the name Orlando McClain? Whistle me that one, Dixie boy.
It just proves how stupid Skippy Bayless is to call Ray Lewis an overrated middle linebacker. And I know he's won not just once, but twice for Super Bowls. Add that up, Skippy. And that's why he is also on the Football in America, the NFL on NBC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Skippy Bayless said, am I? He said that my Boston Red Sox are actually playing good this weekend.
Oh, you noticed that. It doesn't take rocket science to figure that out, you dumb idiot. Obviously, for some reason, you've been dissing them. Oh, now they're starting to win. Now you're saying, Oh, my Red Sox are winning. Boy, you're such an idiot.
Skippy Bayless said that the Chicago Cubs will overachieve and will miss the playoffs.
Ooh, you're lucky, Frank. You're lucky, Frank didn't hear you say that.
Good thing I'm not a Cubs fan, so it doesn't matter to me.
Oh, look what. Oh, Roddy says this. Tebow has a seat for him on the SEC network anyway. And look what he says with that McClain comment, Jeff. He says, me. And he goes, I know them both. That's what Ronnie says.
You and who else?
Yeah.
30% of the bandwagon Cowboy fans that live in Dallas?
Pretty much.
I could go on a rant about how bandwagon that city is, too, but we don't have time for that.
Careful, you're going to WrestleMania in Jerry World. Maybe you'll meet Jerry.
I'm going to that stadium for something that's going to be entertaining and quality in that stadium, not this freaking football team.
Make sure you don't get a seat sitting behind the pole.
I promise that will not happen. All right. All right, 28 minutes after the second hour. Got our update coming up soon. We got a couple more quotes here for today. Skippy Bayless said that Paul Heyman is the best general manager of all time, and he loves when he says, my name is Paul Heyman.
No, it's not.
I still will not forget how he stole Jeff's lines, Paul Heyman did. And Jeff is upset because whenever that happens, Jeff says, quit stealing my lines.
Well, he always steals my lines, so what's the difference? Why should this day be any different than the next?
Josh, Ronnie has a message for you. He goes, I'm not a bandwagoner, Josh.
No, he's been a Dallas Cowboy fan since he's been born, man.
Yeah, you and 50... I'm not saying you. I'm talking about the 70 other % of Cowboy fans that are out there.
And that's why they call him America's team.
Well, they ain't America's team no more. They used to be, but no more. No more.
Anyway, last goal before we head into the update. Skippy Bale said that New Day brings him the power of positivity, and he loves the New Day.
Yeah, New Day sucks.
New Day sucks.
That's right.
New Day sucks.
New Day stinks. I wish they would stop that, man. That drives me crazy. I wish they would stop that crap. I really do.
Speaking of wrestling tonight, don't forget, Live at the Raw is the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast with Edge and Christian on the WWE Network.
That should be kind of fun. Hey, let's run to our final update of the day. This update is brought to you by JockJournal.com. Head on over to JockJournal.com. Check out all their NFL writers. They got some great stuff over there. It's JockJournal.com. That's our sister station. Head on over to JockJournal.com. Take it away, Josh Lopez, with the final update of the day.
Thank you, Jeff and Sean. Welcome, everybody, on this Labor Day, Monday, September 7th, 2015. Right now, it's 6:30 in the Central, which makes it 7:30 in the East. If you live in the mountains, who really cares? Let's take a look at the scores right now in the baseball world. The Yankees beat the Orioles 8-6. The Mets whoop the Nationals 8-5. The Tigers defeat the Rays 5-4. The Brewers beat the Marlins 9-1. Let's not forget, we will not have any Miami Marlins writers here on Sports World Radio. Reds beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-1 today. The Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 11-4. The Indians beat the White Sox 3-2. The Cubs blow out the St. Louis Cardinals 9-0. And the Arizona Diamondbacks beat the San Francisco Giants as their season continues to go downhill. Our scores right now in process, we got the Rockies up 6-4 against the Padres in the bottom of the ninth. A's are up 10-6 against the A's. And the Braves are up 2-0 against the Philadelphia Phillies. Don't forget, this Thursday night begins its official 2015 NFL regular season as the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to the Patriots Stadium as the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the New England Patriots. We'll be back with more Sports Radio and the Skip Bayless Bash Hour after this commercial break.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top. top bet. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hi, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All I want is to be loved.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on Sports World Radio. Okay, so before we get back to the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour quotes, really quick, I had a friend of mine who made an announcement yesterday saying that he was coming back and going to be doing his sports show, and he's going to be back and kick some butt and all that, and he's starting an hour earlier than he used to and all this and all that. So I said, okay, great. You know, I'm up early in the morning anyway. I'll just stay up and go and listen to his show. I head on over to where his show is going to be. This son of a bitch has got a basketball game on. A basketball game. So, I wait. Maybe he hasn't turned the live stream on yet. Okay, so I wait a couple minutes, and I go back 5 minutes after the hour, and a freaking basketball game on still. Like, what the hell's going on here? So I wait a little bit, and I go back about 4:15, and I check, and lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, the basketball game is still on. Hey, if you're going to make an announcement saying that you're going to come back and be doing your sports shows, and it's going to be better, and you got new plans and all this, actually come back and do it. Don't put on a freaking pre-recorded basketball game. Actually come back and do the show. You make this big, huge announcement on Facebook. You're going to be back. You're starting the show an hour early and this and that. Okay, I'm psyched. I want to hear you. Great, you're back. Nothing.
Missing in action.
Nothing. Way to go, you schmuck. I'm not even going to, you know what? I'm not going to mention your name. Nothing. You know who I'm talking about, you dumbass. When you make an announcement like that, actually follow through. Dumbass. All right,
let's proceed with the Bash Hour. We have 3 more quotes for you guys today. It's also going to implement a person named not Stephen A. Smith, so watch out. All right, Skippy Bayless said that my New York Knicks are going to be the joke of the NBA this season.
They're going to win more games than the Philadelphia 76ers, I'll tell you that.
Well, quite frankly, I need to quadratically disagree with you, Mr. Eskow, with the fact that the erroneous fact that the New York Knicks are an abominable team.
Well, I hate to tell you, they're going to win more games than the Philadelphia 76ers.
Well, quite frankly, I disagree with you. I think Embiid and whatever the guy he got drafted in the pick this year, I think he's going to have a better job than Carmelo.
Not Stephen A. Smith. Embiid is out for the season. Don't you know what the hell you're talking about? I thought you were a basketball guy.
Well, quite frankly, I've been doing this ESPN stuff for 10 years. I haven't been a columnist since 15 years.
Well, if you're going to mention it, say they're going to use Embiid a lot, why don't you do some research before you open up your mouth like your friend Skip Bayless? Embiid is out for the season.
Skippy Bayless is a close personal friend of mine, and I don't agree with you the way you attack.
Well, you know what? Both of you have made stupid comments. One thinks that Tony Romo played against the Chargers in a preseason game, and you think Embiid is playing for the 76ers this year. How about you both do your own goddamn research for a change?
Quite frankly, we have our great stat guy coming with
obviously,
rhetorical stats here.
Well, obviously he sucks because he's giving you the wrong information.
All right, here we go. Second to last quote. All right, Skippy Bayless said that my Dallas Cowboys are gonna whoop the New York Giants 42-10 at Week 1.
Not gonna happen.
Quite frankly, I disagree with you as well, Skip Bayless. How you say that the Cowboys are mediocre Cowboys? How sacrilegious of you to say that the Cowboys will whoop the New York Giants when they came and win on the road in the playoffs.
Let me ask you a question, Skip. Did you say that the Cowboys would beat the Giants in New York?
Correct.
Well, they're not playing in New York, you jackass. They're playing in Dallas. Get your facts and stats correct before you spew the garbage that comes out of your mouth.
According to Skippy, he believes that Romo's going to light up the Giants and hurt their defensive secondary on Sunday night.
Not going to happen.
That's a rep for Stephen A. Smith. You'll see him tomorrow.
Even though the Giants' secondary is not that good. That's the one thing on their defense that ain't that good.
Yeah. Skippy Bayless. I had one more quote. I have one more quote, buddy. Skippy Bayless said that my New York Knicks should not acknowledge Patrick Ewing in their Ring of Honor.
Oh, shut up. Just shut up already. Patrick Ewing was the one that brought basketball back to New York after it died off for a little year.
Well, come on, Jeff. You ripped me for being a Romo fan when he never won a championship. What has Patrick Ewing ever won?
Uh-oh.
He didn't win a championship, but he brought basketball back to the Garden, and the Knicks were relevant again.
Yeah, they may be relevant, but they never won any championships.
Let me ask you a question. Does Patrick Ewing have more playoff wins than Tony Romo?
It's two totally different sports.
Does Patrick Ewing have more playoff wins than Tony Romo?
Yes, he does. It's two totally different sports. You don't see any NFL have a 7-game or 5-game series.
Okay, let me ask you a different question. Okay?
Okay.
Let me ask you this. How long has Tony Romo been in the NFL?
8 years.
How long did Patrick Ewing play in the NBA?
20.
Okay. How many more times did Patrick Ewing's team go to the playoffs than Tony Romo's team?
The point is, you're ripping the Cowboys, my Cowboys, because they haven't won a championship in 18 years. But you are the big Knicks fan, and supposedly the Knicks brought basketball relevancy back in the 90s when they didn't win a championship.
I understand that. I get that. But if you look at Patrick Ewing's career compared to Tony Romo's career, who's had the better career?
Patrick Ewing.
Thank you. End of discussion.
That's a wrap for today's edition of the Skippy Bayless.
Am I right? I got you, didn't I?
Yep.
End of discussion right there. Jeff wins again. How about that? Next.
41 minutes after the hour. The next story we get to, this has been discussed quite a bit today on that channel on the MLB Network. In the National League wild card, the amazing Cubs have trimmed the Pittsburgh Pirates' lead to 2 games in the National League wild card, making the West very nervous and very tense.
And that West is getting getting tight, ain't it?
Yeah, Wes is getting very, very, very nervous. He believes
very antsy.
Yeah, he is, Jeff. He's very quiet on Facebook these days.
Why?
Because the Pirates are up 2 games, and he's nervous about it.
Only 2 games.
Come on, Jeff. You need some sympathy.
Yeah, he's awful quiet, right? He's a loudmouth when they're up by a lot, but now they're only up by 2. He's awful quiet, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him when his team is losing to the Cincinnati Reds of all teams.
The Reds are 10-4 against the Pittsburgh Pirates this year, and that has been playing a lot of spoiler of late.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, like I've been saying all along, the Pirates are knowing that the pressure's on them. Suppose, okay, they could make it for the play-in game, but things could reverse.
Yeah, but there's a problem. But there's a problem with that. It doesn't matter if it reverses. If he's smart enough, Wes, he knows Pittsburgh's making it into the playoffs, into the play-in game anyway, because San Francisco Giants are 8.5 games behind the Cubs.
Correct.
Okay?
That's right.
So I don't think the Giants have a shot. So it's going to be Pittsburgh and the Cubs, but I want it to be the Cubs up top so the Cubs get the home field.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was going for with the reverse, what do you call it, psychology or whatever you call it. That's what I was saying because, look, the Cubs know very well they could overtake the Pirates, and then they could host the one-game play-in game in a very tough Wrigley Field against the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's a lot of joy right now for Cub fans. Everybody can feel the playoffs. And, Josh, I know where you live, there's probably a lot more talk about the Cubs than the White Sox. No offense.
Chicago's a bandwagon city. It goes to whatever. Honestly, I'm being flat out honest with you, Sean. Chicago talks more about Green Bay Packers right now than they do the Cubs right now.
Well, that'll change when the Cubs make it to the playoffs.
I believe so, and I know that the Bears are getting ready for the big weekend. You couldn't have scripted it any better to always have it between the Packers and the Bears, the old rivalry that they've had for years and years and years. But it will change, like Jeff said, because the Cubs can overtake the Pirates. Pittsburgh is not playing good baseball right now, losing to one of the worst teams in baseball, the Reds.
But I don't see the Cubs, the Pirates falling out totally.
No, I don't see them either. They're still a young team, and they can make a lot of movement, but they're going to need to really start getting on a big winning streak soon because there's like 4 or 5 weeks left in the MLB season.
Right. It's going to be a little crazy. Hey, let's run to our final break of the day. You're listening to Jeff Escow, Showman, Josh Lopez on
Sports World Radio.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family. We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hello there. I'm a famous actor. Pretty sure you know who I am. And when I want to know what's going on in the sports world, I tune into Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk right here on Sports World Radio. Hey, don't forget about our sister station, jockjournal.com. Go check it out, JOCKJOURNAL.com. Go check out jockjournal.com. All right, final segment.
Also, don't forget about our SWR Sports
Yeah,
shorts.
don't forget about our SWR Sports Shorts. You want to hear what we're talking about during the commercial breaks? While you guys are listening to commercials, the show continues on hold. Head on over to swrsportshorts.com swrsportshorts. That's swrsportshorts.com/swrshorts and sign up today. All right, final segment. Where are we going?
All right, we stay with Major League Baseball. And other news that's really making big news here, Jeff and Josh. The Texas Rangers, of course, are sitting about 5.5 games behind the Yankees for that first wild card spot. But beware, Texas, because another team is starting to come really, really close your way. A team that everybody starts to count out is the Minnesota Twins. They sit 1 game back, or a half game back, of the Texas Rangers for the number 2 American League wild card.
I'll put more stock into the Texas Rangers than I would the Minnesota Twins. They don't have enough pitching.
And I don't think, should it come down to the play-in game, the Twins playing the Yankees, that's a bad situation for the Twins to be in, because the Twins know their history against the Yankees. They've never been successful against the Yankees for some reason. The Twins have had maybe these good teams, but they just don't know how to beat the Yankees.
With the exception of Sean, usually our goal here at Sports World Radio is to make sure that neither the Red Sox or the Yankees make the playoffs.
Correct.
I hope the Yankees could have a monumental collapse, but right now the Yankees are playing better ball. They've won 8 of the last 9, and you look at that AL East right now. Every time you're thinking that the Blue Jays could have the AL East wrapped up, the Yankees somehow just don't go away. But I still say that I got to put it in with the Blue Jays. I think Toronto has a better chance of winning the AL East than the Yankees. And don't forget, the Yankees and the Blue Jays, actually the Blue Jays and the Yankees, they square off 4 times this weekend in a big 4-game series, which is a really big part for the AL East. That's a pennant race right there.
Interesting.
What do you think, Jeff, with the Blue Jays and the Yankees playing this weekend with a lot at stake?
It doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
It does a little bit. I mean, they are a half game behind each other in the division, especially when it comes to wild card.
Yeah, but I get that, but still, both of these teams, Toronto and the Yankees, I believe, are in the playoffs.
Yes.
Playoffs started today. Toronto would be winning the AL East, and the Yankees would be hosting the one-game play-in against Texas.
So it's kind of like what's going on with with Pittsburgh and Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know the magic number for the Blue Jays or Yankees.
They don't have it up yet. They don't have it up yet. They only have 2 magic numbers up, one for the Dodgers and one for Kansas City. That's it.
Well, I saw one for the Cubs today.
Did you?
Yeah, it said 18.
I believe this, though. Should Texas play the Yankees, I believe Texas can beat the Yankees simply because back in May of this year, late May, they went to Yankee Stadium for Memorial Day weekend. Texas went in there and swept the Yankees in there. So Texas knows they can beat them. They did beat them in the playoff series back in 2010 American League Championship Series in 6 games. So I know that was 2010. This is 2015. But there's a little bit of history between Texas and New York. And Texas is on a bit of a slump, but I still say that they could go and beat the Yankees. No question about it. No question about it. And I still say that with Toronto, the Blue Jays have been – everybody's been complimenting them and just saying how much and how amazing they've been throughout the whole course of the season. So there's a lot at stake with about, 5 weeks left to go in the regular season. So and I think it go right down the wire for a number of these teams. Teams getting their hearts broken the last minute and getting booted out.
I don't like the fact that the regular season's ending in the first week of October. Is anybody else upset with that?
I am.
Say that again, Josh?
Is anybody excited for the playoffs this year?
What, baseball playoffs?
Yeah.
Not really. I haven't watched I have not watched a full baseball game all year.
I have not. Josh, to answer your question, no, I'm not. I think this is an absolute joke. MLB needs to correct this immediately for next year and try to get the season done in late September because in all the years of growing up, that's how baseball ended. It was always late September, and then boom, October playoffs. It was a different story.
Next.
So we'll see what happens, though. Let's see. In MLB, let's see other stuff. General manager says the Mets will limit Harvey as the IP cap looms. What's your guys' thoughts about Matt Harvey?
What's the IP? Is that do with his contract or something?
Innings cap.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with Matt Harvey. He was looking great in the first half of the season, and now he's just losing games left and right.
Well, you
he's
know
like kind of like Justin Verlander.
What do you think, Jeff?
He's going to be he's probably going to get a crap load of money next year. Because right now he's making crap. He's not even making $1 million a year.
Do you think the whole thing with him becoming a free agent is getting in his head now instead of focusing on the playoffs?
Could be. Could very well be. He could be thinking about his future instead of what's going on right now. Sure.
Sean?
I think, yes, I believe he would be focusing on the future. But with the Mets, they need to realize this. They can't let Harvey be a team distraction. And what I'm getting at is you have a chance to realize that you want to, of course, win the National League East Division, which the Mets are well on their way to doing. Jeff, before the season started, you did pick the Mets to win the division, so you'll get that one right. And focus on playing baseball. And I have to say this with the Mets, too. What a great job Terry Collins has done as manager of the Mets just to build this team and make this team a playoff team again. And, of course, you could finally see the Mets for the first time in the new ballpark, finally hosting playoff games at their new ballpark at Citi Field in the Flushing, New York.
Flushing. That's a perfect acronym for that city because people need to take a dump there.
Josh, have you been amazed with what you've seen from the Mets this year, too? I mean, I know you and I have always gone over our big surprises, but I do believe you and I did say the Mets were one of the big surprises.
I think so. I think it would be a different story. Sorry for using this word. I know he hated Jeff, but if the Nationals didn't have so many injuries that are plaguing them right now. But I think they're good for a reason. They got a great pitching staff, and I think that trade for Yoenis Cespedes for the Tigers really helped their offense. And then you got David Wright coming back from injury. I think the sky's the limit for the Mets.
Yoenis Cespedes was a perfect pickup for the New York Mets. However, the Mets know very well they may not be able to bring back Yoenis Cespedes for the trade. So the Mets need to realize that they're going to have to try to give Yoenis Cespedes maybe a big contract, and it's going to be very difficult for the Mets to do that. But if you're the Mets, you got to forget about what's going on with Yoenis Cespedes and Matt Harvey, and you got to realize you're up 5 games over the Nationals. So you realize you want to finish up this season on a good note and get the National League East clinched, because the last time the Mets made the playoffs was 2006. That was when, of course, they lost the NLCS to the Cardinals. Now, another team that, of course, is leading the National League West, as expected, is the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are now 8 games ahead of the San Francisco Giants. Jeff and Josh, to ask you about the Dodgers, is there any way the Dodgers could possibly blow it, or do you think the Dodgers have the NL West wrapped up?
I think they got that thing wrapped up. I mean,
it's over.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. They're up by 8 games, and their Dodgers' magic number is 18. So I don't know how many more games they have left with the Giants, but if the Giants plan on getting there, they better get it under 8 games because they might have 8 games left. You know what I mean?
Giants lost one of their top pitchers for the rest of the year with an elbow surgery, right, Sean? Kim's out?
Yep, Lincecum is out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
Yeah.
And I think, again, what I'm going to be kind of saying is that we'll see it again. I think you're going to pretty much see the NLDS be the matchup between the Dodgers and the Cardinals again for the 3rd straight year. And, of course, the Cardinals have had their way against the LA Dodgers. And I know, Jeff, you've always gone against the Dodgers because you dislike the Dodgers, and the Cardinals have always had their number and always have beaten them in the playoffs.
That's right.
We'll see what happens.
We will see what happens.
And I know with you, Josh, it's like, somebody please just beat the Cardinals because I'm so sick of the Birds.
I'm honestly sick of both teams, to be honest with you, but I don't care who wins.
Really?
Probably. Well, Josh, probably when we get to our picks, when we get to the NLDSs, if in fact the Dodgers and the Cardinals meet, you probably would be more in favor of the Dodgers just because you've been so tired of the Cardinals always being there the last couple of years, and you're going to get your wish because Detroit's not going to be in the playoffs, but of course the Dodgers and the Cardinals are getting to be the old stories of baseball for the playoffs.
Yep.
You bet. Hey, we're going to get the flock out of here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. I really appreciate it. I hope everybody had a great Labor Day. What a great way to end your Labor Day weekend and holiday with us. Thank you for sharing it with us. We really appreciate it. We'll be back again tomorrow for another edition of Sports World Radio. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen.
Peace out, everybody. For Sean Mann, Josh Lopez, I'm Jeff Escal. That was Nic Spiva. We will be back tomorrow. Adios, bitches.
Bye, and have a great evening.
Shut up, Scoop.
Listening to Sports World Radio with your hosts, Jeff Escal and Sean Mann. Online at SportsWorldRadio.com. Sports World Radio, the equal opportunity ripper. We'll catch you next time.